Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar presentation. We will begin here shortly, and we appreciate your patience in the meantime. Again, for those of you just joining us, we will begin here in about half a minute, and we appreciate your patience in the meantime. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So again, hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar presentation titled Mastering Outsourced Digital Product Engineering Beyond 2021, brought to you by MTech. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items that I do need to go over with you. First, if you have any questions for our presenters today, post those into the questions panel so we can get to them after the presentation. Secondly, if you experience any technical difficulties today, please post a message into the chat panel and I will work with you to resolve those issues. Last on my housekeeping list, today's presentation is being recorded and it will be available shortly after the webinar concludes. Now that we are through those housekeeping items, I would like to introduce you to our two presenters today. First, we have Sachin Gaisas, who is a managing partner at MTech Digital. Secondly, we have Larry Gordon, who is the managing director at MTech Digital. At this time, I'd like to pass it off to the two of them for their presentation.
Thank you, Drew, and good afternoon, everyone. Hello, I'm Larry Gordon, and I'm the Managing Director of Go-to-Market Initiatives at MTech. Today, we're here to discuss a topic that I know is of interest to everyone in this audience. We all know the benefits of traditional outsourcing, so I'm not going to go in that direction, and I hope today's session gives you valuable insights on the advanced state of outsourcing digital product development today. A lot of things have changed. Outsourcing is fast gaining popularity among small businesses worldwide, as well as increasing traction in larger enterprises. A recent survey by leading B2B research firm Clutch indicates 80% of small businesses plan to outsource critical business functions in 2021 and 2022 to drive growth. Digital products are increasingly the biggest revenue driver and source of productivity gains in small and larger businesses. They have to be built efficiently and with high quality. There's revenue at stake. Nevertheless, about 25% of all outsourcing relationships fail within the first 2 years, and 50% in the first 5 years. This has got to stop. It is unacceptable in the product engineering space. We know how to stop that from happening and want to share some tips today. The global IT sourcing scenario as it relates to the realm of digital engineering is more strategic and comes with its own set of complexities. The current digital paradigm influences not just ISVs, but also enterprise clients looking to productize their digital offerings for better ROI. Whether it's generating better top-line growth, delivering consistently superior integrated customer experiences, or building strong bottom-line digital transformation impact an organization at various touch points, creating a strong foundation for sustained growth. So to understand the various facets of digital product engineering in more depth, I'd like to offer a very warm welcome to a special guest today, Sachin Gaisas, Managing Partner at MTech Digital. Sachin has a rich technology consulting experience spanning 25 years of working with different types of companies, including large global SIs, product companies, boutique IT services companies across the US and India. He's got terrific stuff to share with us. In today's session, we will look at the changes in the digital product engineering space over the last few years. We will also discuss what are the typical client expectations from product engineering vendors and how MTech Digital delivers value across industries as a good example. We'll have an opportunity to hear about some real-life case studies, real-life user stories, where the MTech digital team has helped companies accelerate their digital product development initiatives. Finally, Sachin will also provide valuable recommendations to companies looking to outsource their product engineering projects. We've got some interesting discussions ahead, so let's get started right away. Hello, Sachin. Good afternoon.
Hey, Larry. Thanks. Let me share my perspective on how digital product engineering landscape has greatly evolved over the last few years. Technology adoption is no longer a choice. It has become a necessity today. Whether it's logistics, banking, fintech, healthcare, education, retail, across so many different verticals, we see there is an increasing shift towards digitalization, right, in product development. That started a few years back, ago with a move from a conventional on-prem system to cloud-based computing. Technology acceleration is a survival necessity today in today's digital world, and we are seeing highest level of technology adoption globally over the last few years. Organizations are leveraging technology to deliver superior customer experience, boost efficiency of the internal operations, and businesses are becoming more data-driven, right? And they expect a real-time visibility across various business silos, thereby creating a transparency at an enterprise level. COVID-19 has also transformed many of the traditional business models into intelligent and sort of digital operating models that build resiliency and boost technology ROI. They also help reduce transaction costs by ensuring efficient workflows across various business transactions. Organizations are more open to working with remote teams now for various reasons. First, there is an immense pressure from business on technology leadership to deliver innovative products like yesterday. Second, there is a severe crunch of skilled resources with the right level of competencies at every step of product development. Folks in tier one cities, and I'm talking more from a cost of living perspective. So in cities like New York, San Francisco, Seattle, and many other, uh, you know, folks are getting used to teams that are not co-located, that are not in front of them, but they see that they can still, continue to deliver without much hindrance. And this gives them a wider choice in terms of the locations from where they can source these, the architects, engineers, and so many different profiles, and that too at a lower cost. And third, also very important, the product managers need to learn from global phenomena, the end user preferences that are converging globally. So you need to have strategies that leverage newer thoughts and ideas and innovation that may come from a superior talent that is spread across the globe. Similarly, we are experiencing faster shift in terms of the technologies used as well. Overall, we see folks adopting a fail fast approach when it comes to trying out new technologies. There is an increasing thrust on open source technologies and plug and play architecture. Companies are open to having a mix of homegrown solutions as well as specialized third party solutions, and these could be vertical point solutions or a functional point solutions or a technology product, while leveraging, I mean, as long as you're able to leverage or they're able to leverage the existing platform investment, I think they're open to exploring these different innovations or innovative products. We are further witnessing renewed focus on what I call commercialization of innovation, right? Where technology teams are needed, they need to be able to scale up their platforms and processes to ensure adoption at scale, across their stakeholders, key stakeholders, and this includes your end customers, vendors, partners, your internal stakeholders, and there's a need for creating a resilient enterprise, innovative product development, right, at an enterprise level. There is and given all this, right, there's an increasing preference for a distributed global teams. So software partners are expected to ensure talent reskilling and retooling to adopt all these new technologies that are coming up, right? Every now and then. And the need of the hour from a need of the hour is partner who can adopt, develop, and sustain innovation, provide scale without compromising quality, add more value to the engagement by providing extended knowledge base, and also implement shared learnings acquired from the diverse experiences that they may get by virtue of working with different clients.
Sachin, let me interrupt you here for a moment, please. When you speak of the need for partnerships that add value, I'd like to understand, what are the typical client expectations from vendors when they look to outsource their engineering projects?
Yep. So Larry, I think companies are moving away from hiring vendors, right? And they are instead looking to work with trusted partners. So clients, perceive partners as an extension of the engineering team, and this raises the bar on what they expect from partners, right? So it's no longer just a cost play. Technical competency and cultural alignment are the decisive factors. Clients look for a partner who not only learns from them, but also contributes back by accelerating the technology roadmap, right? That client has set for themselves. Clients expect partners teams to work independently while closely collaborating with the internal engineering teams on a complex technology projects and initiatives. They also expect a symbiotic working relationship from partners, going beyond just the order taking mentality, but not too overwhelming to client side, right? At the same time, so you have to have a right balance, right? So clients are no longer willing to work with a vendor just based on their brand image and all that stuff, right? They actually want to kind of evaluate and engage with a conversation with the actual talent that is going to be deployed for your engagement. So all this is possible, right? Only when the partner is fully committed to the engagement and takes ownerships and accountability, irrespective of the contractual obligation or the size of engagement. I think that's one of the key, I would say, expectation that the clients have. And one of the big challenge in this product outsourcing, what we see from a client perspective or what they're concerned about is the quality of delivery. It should not happen that your quality of delivery is getting impacted at the expense of growth and scalability. I mean, frankly, this actually provides a lot of opportunities for us, given that we have many examples where we have set up the client engagements and we have ramped them up without compromising quality, right? But in general, we hear this concern from many of our prospects as well as the clients, right? When they compare different vendors, I think this thing comes out definitely as part of the discussion, right? So due to the increasing strategic dependence on partners, clients need to they need more support from these partners who may be owning various features. They may be feature owners, right? They need support in the local time zone. Client expect the partners to provide skilled resources that are capable of understanding the advanced technologies, but not only advanced technologies, but also clients' business and the product ecosystems and integration requirements, etc., and support real time, right? So partners should proactively plan their capacity to ensure that they are able to provide this kind of support, right? And so it's no longer only a kind of an offshore play, right? Other things client look for in a strategic partner are flexible operating styles, impeccable attention to detail, excellent creativity and problem solving skills, and all these kind of results or makes a partner who can guide strategically to clients on their product development journey. So clients also expect partners to speak boldly about the point of views and push back when they don't agree to something, or when they feel that, hey, there are some better and different ideas, and especially when when you're talking about some critical decisions.
Yeah, that's interesting, Sachin. I think there's quite a bit of pressure on vendors to go over and above the contract. Our audience would probably like to know how MTech Digital has addressed client expectations over the years? Please.
Yep, sure. So over the last decade, we have been able to develop technology trust with our clients by demonstrating quality delivery consistently. Our people are our key differentiators. Good people doing good work, always attract more good work and more good people. I think that's a mantra I think we have lived by, right? So one of our strengths is easy access to our leadership and expert SME pool, who can easily connect with client architects and their technical leadership to ensure there is no loss of there is no loss in translation, and communication, and help teams become self-sufficient, right? Because that's one of the primary expectation, and what clients look for. So our teamwork helps aggregate the individual contributions and ensure that we deliver quality work as per the client expectations. So in our case, yes, the individual contributions do matter, but ultimately it's the teamwork that does a miracle for us, right? In the realm of digital product engineering, we operate with a maximum engagement flexibility, right? Because every client is different and their needs are different. They are at a different point, in terms of their their existence, and what they need is different. So there are various ways we kind of engage or we operate with our clients, right? So in some cases we take the complete ownership of the features, and right from capturing the requirements to all the way deploying in production and maintaining it, we take the complete ownership. In some cases we work as a hybrid team, so there is a team that is formed out of a client's team, and that may be in US or throughout the globe, and we participate as part of those teams, hybrid teams. And also we work with other vendors, right? Because some of our big enterprise clients, obviously they have different vendors for doing different things, and we need to work with different vendors. So we go beyond just taking orders, and get deep into understanding our clients' needs, and what's really important for them, right? What are their critical needs. And we don't shy away from engaging in difficult conversations, and when we don't see a fitment of proposed solution, or we feel we have some better and different ideas, or something is not correct, I think we don't shy away from those discussions, right? Our teams work very closely with client teams to diagnose issues, formulate workable solutions without stressing the senior client resources. So I think we take complete ownership of our part out there, and we make sure that we try to resolve things on our own, basically, right, based on the knowledge that we develop by virtue of engaging with client for so many years. And our associates are highly flexible, nimble, adaptable, and that's what our clients are saying, right? I mean, it's not, I mean, I know I'm probably boasting a little bit here, but that's what, if you see our all customer satisfaction surveys, etc., this is exactly what our clients are saying. So we are consistent in our work, we are easily accessible, responsive to client needs, and we communicate with honesty. I think that's the most important thing, right? You need to be honest with what you're doing, and and there are some challenges, obviously there are some challenges sometimes that you need to deal with, but we try to learn from the mistakes that we make, or try to learn some of the best practices that client has, or some of the other partners has, because we truly believe in a continuous improvement charter, right? So that's very important. So given the pace and the complexity of product development, right, that we are engaged with in many of our clients, and it's all about managing changes in scope, right? You can't say there won't be any change, right? I mean, the change probably is the only constant, right, as they say. So while trying to while we manage the change in scope, we try to deliver quality within the agreed timeline, and thereby maximizing the business impact, right? And the business impact could come in various ways, right? It could be a time to market, differentiated capabilities, various competitive advantage, or getting out there first in the market, all these things. And most of our clients are the enterprises that depend heavily on the software that we develop for them, right? So as part of this journey, right, we rely heavily on various ALM tools and processes to instill discipline in our day-to-day work, right? We leverage daily stand-up calls and reviews, and we use various online code review tools, or our teams have a daily stand-up calls with our teams. There's a scrum of scrum calls, and all those things are pretty, I think, routine now, right? So we kind of follow all those best practices, and I think we give very high importance to having the transparency, right? Which I think plays a critical role in maintaining the relationship between the distributed teams, right? Because and especially in last 18-19 months, right? I mean, there are many cases where even our teammates are not seeing each other, right? So you have to have develop that trust, and we use tools and online collaboration platforms and all of those tools, right, to ensure that there's a trust and transparency and respect for different team members, right? And these practices help us have continued to serve our clients without any disruptions, even during pandemic, right? So let me walk through some of the success stories, right, with our clients who have partnered with us for many years now, right? So it's not I'm not talking about the projects which we have completed a few months back, right? So these are the relationships which goes back decade, right? So first one here, right, is Zillow. So we have been engaged with them for more than a decade now, when they were a startup, and today they are about $3 billion company, right? And the initial developers who started on this engagement are now key managers running this top 20 tech company account for us, right? We work across more than 15 feature teams in product development. We do their QA for the site. In last few years, we also diversified into platform engineering and data and analytics areas, right? Helping Zillow deliver some of the unique custom solutions in AWS, which is their cloud platform, right? Next one is a software SaaS provider. Sorry, founded by one of the greats in logistics industry. They are building a TMS platform for providing a one-stop solution for various the various needs of a logistics team, right? I mean, those who are familiar with this industry, right? I mean, there are many different point solutions to cater to different modes of transportation, right? And you have different systems, and there's no enterprise-wide kind of a system. So what we're building with for this client, or with this client, is a single platform that can one-stop solution that can help you meet all your logistic needs. They chose us based on the prior relationship that we had with founders and the CIO, and they had literally no second thought in engaging us as their strategic partner. We started this engagement right when pandemic hit all of us, right? But we still continued, and we quickly grew team to more than 100 people in matter of few months. Since then we have made significant contribution across many functional areas. If you follow them on LinkedIn, you'll see they have announced many client or customer acquisitions, and they've gone live with some of these implementations, and we have played a very critical role in that, both from a feature perspective as well as driving technology direction across choosing various services in Azure or third-party services, etc. Third one is one of the top 5 3PL company that is now part of UPS. We have been working with them for more than 7.5 years now. I still remember the initial few weeks or months, right, when they started with one pod, and everybody was kind of very curious, and they were very skeptical about this whole thing, right? Because they were engaging with the offshore development team for the first time. But but soon they realized the value being delivered by us, and we went on adding pods after every few months, right? And till we reached this team size, right, which is a significant portion of their overall IT team, right? And we obviously started with some peripheral systems and supporting some of these engagements, but then pretty soon we become their partner, and we started owning some of the strategic pieces within the application, right? Next one is a US first digital bank, right? They got a national license, and they started operating throughout US, right, from last October. And so they are a digital bank, so they don't have any brick or mortar branches, right? Everything is done through a mobile app, right? So again, CTO of the bank had worked with us in the past, and called us in. Here as well, right? We work in a various different modes, right? We work in a hybrid teams with teams based out of San Francisco or Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah. Uh, we also own some of the features end to end. We kind of supported their wallet application while they were kind of developing the banking application, and they got a banking license, right? So they had a wallet application. So we took the complete ownership of that, thereby freeing up their critical resources to focus on a banking application, right? We provide them QA and automation, and we are also engaged in a data engineering team or data engineering work there. Next one is an interesting case, right? We got into this. This is a $100 billion energy logistics and trading company, right? It's a privately owned, one of the largest privately owned company, right? We got in there to connect, but we are competing with many of the tier one companies, right? And when it comes to implementing technologies, while the big players, I mean, see, everybody has a great assets and great resources, right? But while big players are struggling to get the right team on the ground and explore the potential solutions, we were done with the prototypes, right? And that helped clients decide way forward, and that really help us cement our place as a preferred technology partner for them, right? So anything related to technology implementation, I think we are a go-to partner for them, right? The last one, right, is one of the largest trucking and logistics company in US. Again, they have one of the tier one vendor. They have a big presence there. But we got an opportunity to do a workshop on a continuous testing, and we found out that they have a very long release cycles, and these releases are very buggy because somebody has not kind of tested their changes or code for dependencies in the lower environments, and it's kind of erroring out, right? So and they have a very huge and very diverse application systems, right, with hundreds of applications, right? So we are now driving their entire thought leadership here, right, in terms of driving the developer experience, automating a lot of stuff in terms of release engineering, and then by innovating some of the new concepts, right, in terms of test automation, right? We are using some of the latest frameworks and trying to build them together, right? We are creating a plumbing across different open source frameworks, right? So that's what we're doing here.
Great use cases, Sachin, around modern architectures.
Yep.
What would you advise CTOs and VPs of engineering? What advice would you give them looking to outsource critical digital engineering projects? Do you have like a checklist where they can check off standard work, or something they can do before selecting a development partner?
Yeah, so Larry, obviously, I think there are some standard stuff that you'll go through, right? But I think important thing is the CXOs need to identify the real objective behind outsourcing or engaging a partner, right? Do you want a vendor to handle a few aspects of software development, or because you need some spike capacity and that's why you're engaging, or you're looking for a collaborative partner who can walk together with you throughout your product journey, right? Your product life cycle. You need to evaluate the partner's capabilities prior to signing the contract, and again, this is given, and there are a lot of ways of doing a due diligence and things like that, right? And you need to evaluate what are the resources, what is the strength in terms of capabilities, the infrastructure, security policies and practices, and what are the advanced technology skills the resources are familiar with or they're practicing already, right? You also need to ensure that your partner aligns with your ethos and culture, right? They need to appreciate how you leverage technology in realizing your business objectives. They should be capable, the partner should be capable of thinking out of the box and and taking decisions, technical decisions independently, right? I mean, if you have a partner who is kind of keep coming to you for every direction and every decision, then it's going to be difficult to kind of engage them in a strategic way, right? So a good software engineering partner comes with the ability to extract specific out of abstract requirements, right? So there's they have the knack of kind of interacting with your solution solution guys or the product owners, and take them their ideas through the process of capturing the requirement, detailing it out, doing a low fidelity design, high fidelity design, and and structuring it, right? Because many times a lot of these guys think that, hey, things can be done quickly, right? Hey, this is just matter of 1 or 2 months. But then once you start kind of working on it, you realize that, hey, it's not that easy, right? So having a good methodology and somebody who's used to this discipline, I think is very important, right? And also, I think, as I said, right, it's all about culture, right? Because many times partners need to imbibe this culture with the client teams, in terms of, because they may not be used to it, because they're used to working with the teams which are sitting next to each other. And many times, you just walk over and talk to somebody and figure out, hey, what's the challenge, right? Or what's the problem? How do you solve it? But then when you're working with the distributed teams, right, you need to follow certain discipline, and this is really important. So, again, question would come is, how do you check for all this, right? I would recommend starting with a proof of concept, right, to evaluate your digital partner for their strengths and capabilities, right? A POC will, give you an opportunity to assess the robustness of the technology awareness, right, and overall fitment, right, that they have, right, and overall fitment of a partner in this overall scheme of things that you have, right? So
Yeah.
I think in my view, that's what I think one should do. I mean,
Yeah, very helpful. I'm sure many people, or they're telling me, because the questions are starting to come in, Sachin. The first question, and feel free if you're in the audience to post your questions. Sachin and I put our contact information up on the screen as well. Of course, we're available for one-on-ones. You can meet the group, etc. So you don't have to ask all your questions this afternoon, but we'll try to get to as many of them as possible. Sachin, for you, one of the biggest concerns of any company outsourcing product development is security compliance. What are your observations and recommendations around security best practices and protocols?
Absolutely, Larry. I think, and this is a very good question, right? And as I think many of the veterans in the industry would know, right? I think security is very important, and nowadays, what we see is many of our clients, have a special kind of sections, right, added into the MSA. Or there are MSA amendments covering the security aspects, right? What the partner is responsible in terms of providing the security. So you need to have all the basic, right? I mean, your endpoint security and your antivirus and different monitoring tools. I mean, there are all these best practices which have been out there, right? So I think which is a given, right? So I think partners need to really focus on that aspect. But also what is very important is the whatever code you're developing, right? I think developers need to have that mindset where you're thinking of security implicitly and not as an afterthought, right? Because both the writing a secure code and working through a very secured hardware or a laptop is very essential in today's time, right? Given the situation we are in, I think it's very important that both client as well as partners focus well on the security needs and see what are their risk appetites, and and put the plans in place in line with that.
Thanks. Next question, Sachin. What's your take on engagement models in outsourcing between fixed price contracts and the T&M model? Which approach would you recommend for a startup, and which model have your clients found most beneficial?
Yeah, that's a good question, Larry, right? So I would say I think it depends on different factors, right? So if clients have a specialized, I mean, if they have a well-defined need, a project that is carved out, and client is already operating at a very matured level in terms of the software engineering practices, let's say they have all the tools, they have all the products, they're used to defining definition of terms and established way of estimating the all this effort, then yeah, I think you can always go for a fixed price, right? Fixed price kind of engagement. But if you are a growing company, or if you are entering, or you're chartering into unknown territories, right? Then I think I believe TNM is always a good way to start, because the moment you try to put fixed bid, I think partners would also try to safeguard their interest, and they will become rigid, right? I think, and in that rigidity you lose the creativity, and you compromise the pace, right, to some extent, because every time partner would be, you would try to kind of evaluate and see how are they doing with respect to what they're signed up for and things like that, because so every change in scope and things like that goes through a lot of scrutiny. So if you have a TNM, or what we call managed capacity kind of engagement, I in my experience, that provides a win-win for both clients as well as the partners, right? Because there is a flexibility. You define, you do some look at sprint planning for 3 or 4 sprints, and then then partner is responsible for ensuring that they meet those targets for every sprint, right? So they need to deliver, right? At the end of the day, partners need to perform, right? And in today's age, right, I think you need to keep delivering every sprint, right? You need to deliver every sprint after sprint, right? It's not like you have a 6 months or 4 months when you're delivering one big release, and that's the time when you get tested. No, you get tested every day. So in my view, I think it really doesn't matter, right? If you have a partner who is taking accountability and ownership, whether it's a TNM or fixed bid, and that's what I said earlier, right? I think irrespective of the contractual vehicle, partner needs to take the ownership and accountability, and if they are doing that, then you will not have problem with any of these contractual models.
Thanks. Here's another question about POCs. Sachin, your slide mentioned starting with a smaller engagement, and POCs are a good way to start. What is a best fit scenario for MTech in terms of revenue engagement, length of engagement, or other metric?
That's a good question, right? So given today's situation where we are, right, I would say having at least 2 pods, right? So that is, when I say pod, it's really a team of 5 people, right? So maybe a lead developer and 3 developers and a QA, that could be a pod. So having the 2 pods, I think, is the optimal size, because it doesn't matter whether you have 2 pods or 5 pods or 10 pods. I think the governance effort is very, very high in the beginning, right? And it's very heavy investment from a governance perspective, and making sure that things happen, everything falls in place, and there are no communication gaps, and cultural alignment, all that stuff. So if you're starting too small, it may be there may be too much of overhead, and you may not have enough sample, right, to really evaluate whether the things are working for you or not, right? So I would say, yeah, POC can be a specific. It could be a 3 or 4 week POC, or even you could give a problem statement to the partners and or vendors, and ask them to come up with their thought leadership, and check them on what they have done, right? And that could be a way of doing a POC. But then if you are doing more of a paid POC, then I would say starting with the 2 pods for 3 to 6 months, I think that will be ideal.
Great. Another question. With the example projects and clients that you highlighted previously in the hour, what unexpected benefit or benefits did they or MTech realize? So I guess, did something magical happen?
So let me understand the question correctly. Are we talking about what benefits clients have got through MTech's engagement?
Yes, I think that's where he's going with that.
Okay.
So
yeah. So and I'll take one of the examples what I talked about, right? So when we started, I think they were just trying to scale up their IT setup, right? Because they were trying to go into either getting acquired, or they want to get out with the IPO, right? So they needed to beef up their offerings and product features and etc. And that's where they got us in, right? So it's, again, as I said, it's not only a cost play, right? They needed a partner who can ramp up at a good, decent speed, and hire quality engineers who can understand and who can design the next generation system. So they were all WinForm applications and legacy applications, and we moved them into the latest technology stacks, right? So so it's a technology technology refresh, I think, is what we provide. They look at us for providing the innovation, right? Because we can invest in in building those different capabilities, and we pass on those, our findings and learnings and benefits of what we get out of our investments in technologies to back to the client. So client look at us from providing, if there is something new coming up in the market, they come to us and say, hey, MTech, have you heard about this? And what do you think about this, with respect to what we are doing, right? Do you think it's a good fit for us? So we provide a lot of those inputs to them. Third is the, delivery discipline, right? I think I have at least, out of those 6, I have at least three CXOs, right? Coming to us saying, guys, the discipline that you put here, right, I think has helped, and helped me also push my teams in terms of providing the status updates, tracking the requirement validity for each sprint, and making sure the definitions of done are clear, because these are all small things, right? And enforcing, to do these things in the right way, I think just results in the overall, good quality of the product that we are developing for clients, and clients do see the benefits of that, right? So I think these are some of the benefits, right? So discipline, exposure to the technology, latest technology refreshes, a talent pool that is kind of well versed with this new technology, and who are really hungry and passionate about learning new technology, right? I think is what brings the win-win for both MTech as well as our clients. And again, based on this is the time to market, right? I mean, the example that I gave is of a bank, right? So they were on a very strict kind of a plan, right? Because they were going through all this FDIC and all the compliance, and there were a lot of external investments. So they had a set plan and set targets to achieve, right? And I think we have played a very critical role in helping them achieve those targets.
Great. That was the extent of the questions we got in from the audience. I want to thank D-Zone, a great partner for many years. The attendees for sharing your time with us this afternoon, and Sachin for your knowledge and experience. I got a few notes in to the question portal about they're going to reach out to you privately. Okay, want a private conversation, so feel free to do that. And I think at this point, I thank Sachin and hand it back over to Drew.
Thanks, Larry, and thanks, D-Zone.
Thank you so much, Sachin and Larry, for a great presentation. D-Zone would also like to thank MTech for providing the audience with a great webinar. Lastly, thank you to everyone who attended today. We hope you learned something new that will help you in your developer career. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.